Y'all aren't having fun with bitches. Have you ever noticed that everyone on the internet who is single complains about women, and everyone on the internet who has a wife never complains about women? They'll talk about modern women from a distanced perspective. Like, man, dealing with all that shit must be crazy. I don't have to deal with any of that. My wife's great. And a lot of these people seemingly do have great relationships. They don't have their wife in the public eye. They have a family that's not in the public eye. And everything seems to work out pretty well for them. Of course, there's always going to be trouble in paradise, but you don't ever see a whole lot of bad things happening to these people. So, I wanted to talk about how we're at a time where single men, especially young single men, are now the modern day feminists. And they hate women now. The same way that women over the last few decades have hated men, and they've been told to do everything that makes them completely repulsive to men, is what's going on amongst men right now and in the male psyche. Is let me do everything I can to be completely repulsive and unattractive to females now, right? You guys are taking life way too seriously, and you're not understanding that females are still a game. Everything in life is just a game. You're trying so hard to get rich. You're trying so hard to get women that you have lost all enjoyment of life now. Now your life just sucks all the time, right? Because you have no enjoyment in your life anymore. I was just at the gym. I saw some ladies that I would see there regularly when I used to go to this gym in my hometown. And it was the same shit. There were some girls I had never seen before. They're checking me out, looking at me. One of them's got a boyfriend. She's checking me out a lot. A couple of the girls I saw all the time are both obviously still single, checking me out, looking at me like, oh, it's him again. I haven't seen him in a long time, right? And I have this experience of females. I go out on dates. I've had my issues with girls. They're insane. Not going to act like they're not. But they're also still girls. And they're very easy to tame. The last girl I went out with was maybe 10 days ago. And I told her that she said something about like drawing a line. And I was like, well, women have a lot of fake lines. Like their lines are never real. They'll always move the line for this or that reason. And it's very easy to get them to move the line. And she agreed with me. She kind of chuckled at it. And she commented later about like, well, this is a fake line that I have. And she said what it was. And it became a funny inside joke between her and I. And a lot of y'all can't say something like this to a woman because you're not playful about it. You're not having any fun. Where like when I say that to her, it's funny to me. It's funny to me that like a girl will like draw a line and people will believe it and think that she means what she says, and she knows damn well she don't mean it, and people think that she does and take her serious, and like she gets what she wants and she like scurries away before anyone figures it out, giggling like, oh my god, I pulled it off, you know. And I say this a lot because of my nieces. Like, look, do you think I take this human being seriously? And girls will grow up. And this isn't, instead of a princess now, this is Taylor Swift. It's the same thing. And y'all are taking them serious. I mean, Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. I'm playing with my nieces. What do girls still like to do? Go out and sing karaoke. I dated a girl that would always sing Before He Cheats. And all the other girls would gather around, start screaming it with her and stuff. And I'd look around like, I don't know who this bitch is, right? And she would come back over. And I just never took her serious. She was always singing that song as a warning to me not to cheat on her. That she would not lose her mind and dig her key. That it would break her heart. That's what she was telling me. She wasn't telling me that she's going to go crazy and kick my ass. She was telling me that it would hurt her because she's a fragile little girl. She's still a 7-year-old deep down. So, we got microphones too close to each other. Interference on the microphones. And now, we have a dramatic echo. Y'all aren't having fun with bitches. All of that nonsense to say that y'all are taking women serious and they don't want to be taken serious. Girls just want to have fun. And you are dampening their fun by being so damn serious all the time. And I don't think y'all are separating that when you interact with a woman that you don't have to take her fucking serious. You don't have to show her that you're not taking her serious, but you can just sit there and like let her fucking yap. Be like, yeah, okay, sure. Sure you would. Right? And you can tease her. That'll make her more excited than anything else, is teasing her and playing with her. And the same goes for like, I would watch the Whatever podcast. And occasionally, I can't watch it anymore, but there were times where I would watch it. And I was always just like, how does this guy even believe what they're saying? And I would think, this guy, Brian, he can't believe what these girls are saying. He has to be playing along for the show, for dramatic effect for the show. And then you think about Fresh and Fit, which I think they were like pioneers of this attitude amongst men of, telling women what it is and shitting on them all the time. I think that was like the first podcast that blew up, that really emboldened men to tell women to shut the fuck up. And it's like, I've always told women to shut up. There's really nothing to it. You don't have to be too serious, but you can say it and she'll know that you kind of mean it. And so I would watch the Whatever podcast and these guys would get so frustrated by these girls. And I'm like, and the whole time the girls are like giggling and looking around and they're kind of like, right? They're seeing how far they can push you, how much they can piss you off. That's all they're doing the whole time. That's all they're doing. And if you kick them out, it just makes them giggle. It doesn't actually fuck them up. Because y'all will notice the guys are doing all this stuff and the women ain't changed. The women ain't moved. They're still the fucking same and they're still fucking laughing. They're still laughing, right? They're not getting married, which will come around in time. That'll come around. But they still get married. Even girls, y'all are trying to talk about, past 23, you're beyond your prime. Leonardo DiCaprio ain't going to be with you past 25. That bitch does not care. If she is able to have sex with Leonardo DiCaprio at 24 and get married to Leonardo DiGaio at 28, that bitch is happy. That bitch is happy as fuck. She is thanking Jesus for forgiving her of her sins. Right? She won. She won the game. So the only way y'all are ever going to make any progress with changing the women is if you stop getting in relationships with them, which men aren't going to do. You're not going to get all men to get on board with that. I'm not going to get on board with that. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you, dude. I'm about to go out with this bitch. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. I don't care what your issues are with women. So we've got these YouTube channels that are getting hundreds of thousands of views, hating on women, shitting on women, and it's just men being modern day feminists. Like, it's kind of fucking weird. Not kind of, it's really weird that you're that affected by a female. You really shouldn't be bothered by her. You know, what they're doing is stupid. What they're doing is wrong. You can tell them that shit. They already kind of know it at this point. It's been shouted into their fucking faces so much. But y'all are caught up worrying about a woman who's a fucking hoe. Like, why are you concerned with a hoe? Let a hoe be a hoe. Yes, there's more of them than there used to be. But you're really out here trying to change every fucking female to not be a fucking hoe. I was talking with my grandfather, and he was like, I don't really care about abortion. He was like, I don't really think I should be able to tell her what to do. Like, she can do what she wants. And I was like, Granddad, that's great and all, but it is leading to the women sleeping with a lot of men. And I was like, personally, my biggest thing is I don't want to pay for another woman to sleep with a man and then get rid of the child. I don't think I should, my tax dollars should go to that. Right? And he was like, yeah, I don't want to pay for that either. It's like, that's happening, There's some states where that happens. And I told him that really the only thing is the downstream effect is the women will sleep with anyone now. And so you've got a bunch of hoes for wives. Right? Every woman is a slut. Every single one of them is a slut. It's just, is she a slut for one man or a slut for a bunch of men? Right? And I think that a lot of men aren't really admitting their own dark side, and that, you actually don't give a fuck. You're trying to pretend that you do, but truthfully, you don't give a fuck what this bitch does. You just want her to have sex with you. That's all these guys are mad about. It's literally a bunch of incels that can't get laid, bitching and complaining about women all the time. Because you can't have sex with the girl you want to have sex with. The truth is you can. You just got to try a little bit. But y'all don't want to try because that's giving up your power and putting the ball in her court. And now she's got it, right? The ball's in her court. It's kind of always been there. Fuck are you going to do, dude? You got to try. You got to be performative. It's part of being a man. Right? You strut your fucking stuff, and maybe the girl you like doesn't like you, but another girl likes you, and you take her. Because you're a man, and you'll take some pussy. Wherever it is. I'll take what I can get. I'm just a good old boy. And y'all are, there's a lot of guys that aren't really realizing that and aren't really understanding that, you got to be a little more playful with the girls and not take them so serious. The less serious you take a woman, I promise, the more your options will open up with females. Even the ones that want you to take them serious, you get alone with them, and they just crumble into pieces about how they really admire you for not taking her serious because every other man in her life does, and you're the only one who looks at her and is like, nah. So, guys are out here complaining about women. They're now the modern day feminists. It's creating the divide between men and women that's deeper and deeper. Everyone's trying to fear-monger everyone, right? And I think there should be a piece of you that if you say you're a man, if you're a man, you should take this as a challenge and do the difficult thing, which is actually trying to get into a relationship. I read the comments of this shit, and these guys are cracking jokes about being alone, how much better it is. And it's all fucking cope, dude. That's the same thing the girls did 10 years ago. I don't need a man. I'm independent. Life's better without a man. It's the same thing. You will find a woman today who is 29 years old talking about how she's happily single without a fucking man, because life is better without men. And you'll find a 29-year-old man saying the same damn thing about a woman. Both of y'all need to shut the fuck up and make out with each other. Just admit that you both like each other, right? But that's what it's come down to, is neither party wants to admit that the other one likes the other one, right? One of the girls that likes me at the gym, light-skinned girl, her face is all right. Her body is amazing. God bless America. Now, she shows it off for everybody, so that's a conversation I'd have to have with her, that's mine, and you don't show anyone else. That's for my eyes only. But her face is all right, you know, but she never makes eye contact with me. She always avoids eye contact. Scared-ass little girl, and I'm supposed to take her serious, right? You can't even make eye contact with me, not even for a second. So I'm running on the treadmill, and she's walking one direction, and she looks over at me, and I see her looking. She turns and starts walking towards me. She cuts through machines to come directly in front of me, bro. And I'm looking at her, and I'm like, look at me back, bitch. Maybe I'll talk to you. And she looks in my direction and never looks at me in my eyes and walks past me. And I'm like, you and 1,000 other girls do that shit all the time. Afraid to admit that they like you. Afraid to show that they like you, because if you don't approach them, it's a rejection to them. They're doing the same thing. Way too serious. They're taking this shit way too fucking serious. This girl was young, dude. She looked good. Maybe 23. Looking good, man. Nice, tight body. Face is not a single wrinkle on it, not a sign of age on it, man. She's looking good, light skin. And I'm looking like, I would tear you up. I'd tear you to pieces. You're in competition with me and shit. Like, I get around her and be like, chill, be nice to me. You know? I'd be like, shit, right? Because she'd be in this competition the whole time, and I'd just be like, chill. Like, I like you, you like me. What else are we doing on this date? If you don't shut up, I'ma kiss you. Right? And she'd keep talking. I'd be like, oh, so you want me to kiss you, huh? Right? It was the same way I was, this Ukrainian girl I was dating. It's the same thing. Dude, I remember teasing her and getting her giggling like I had never heard. And just hearing her giggle was so nice and so cute. And I was like, finally, this girl's loosened up. And when she realized what was going on, she sat up straight in my passenger seat. Got real serious and shit. And I was like, yeah. Oh, so you do like to have fun. Oh, turns out you're a human just like everyone else. We all like to have a little fun. Have a good time. But everybody's all uptight, you know. I went out drinking with some of my friends. I was teasing one of my buddies, and he got all bent out of shape about it. And it got real heated between me and him, and he ended up leaving and shit. And it started out with me just teasing him, right? We've talked about it since, and our other friend that was there was like, yeah, man, like, he was just teasing you. He was fucking with you. And then this same guy came over with his girlfriend. And I said something about they're always running a Nick is Crazy campaign. And it really triggered his girlfriend. His girlfriend got mad because they do that. It was because he said his girlfriend's younger sister had a crush on me. She met me one time and had a crush on me. And then that went away. They made sure to let me know that crush went away. And I said, yeah, that's because y'all are always running the Nick is Crazy campaign. And they don't know this, but, right, we've got mutual friends. And they've all told me that this guy and his girlfriend will be talking about how I'm crazy and I'm losing my mind and I'm one step away from, like, suicide or something. I don't know. You know, they leave it on a cliffhanger, like he's one step away from losing everything. All the time. They've been running this campaign against me for years. And I've known it, right? I can tell. None of my friends had to tell me. I can tell. I know what's going on. And so I said something, and his girlfriend got mad, dude. It really offended her. I could tell by her response. And I was like, yeah, gotcha. You thought you could just talk about me behind my back. You thought that what was done in the dark wouldn't be brought to the light, bitch. Crazy. So I said something to her about being there. I was like, why are you even here? And she got so mad, dude. She got so mad. And I was just teasing her. You know, I didn't care. I never get to see her, right? It's kind of nice to see her sometimes. And, yeah, I really never get to see her. When I do get to see her, it's nice to see her. And, man, she got so mad about it, dude. She was, like, raising her voice. And I just didn't respond. I kind of just let her, like, yell. And my friend looked over at me, her man looked at me, and I was just like, you know, just acting like it didn't happen, just like, oh, I guess I shouldn't have said that, you know? And nobody really responded to her, and we left it for what it was, because it was obvious, like, you're being kind of crazy right now, right? And my friend, I know he realized it, that, like, the same thing happened between me and him, that I said something harmless and teasing, kind of poking fun, and he got mad, got triggered. But you know, that's what a good friend is. A real friend stabs you in the front. They don't stab you in the back. They stab you in the front. They say it right to you. Hey man, look at me. Pow! And they hit you with it. That's what a real friend does. And people get really offended by that. They get all butthurt because everybody's taking their life too seriously. Everyone's on the phone, comparing themselves to everyone else, letting the devil in. The enemy, don't you understand the enemy wants you to live in a state of constant comparison because that brings in your pride and it brings in hate. It makes you prideful about who you are. You start getting egotistical and prideful, and then you start hating the other person. Constant comparison on the internet. And that's what everyone's doing all the time. So guys, get off your phones. Go talk to a girl in public and don't take it so seriously. Tease her. If she gets offended, you don't have to respond. She can get offended. That's her own prerogative. Yes, ma'am, have a nice day. Don't take it so seriously. Don't take women seriously. Don't take dating so seriously. Don't take your life so seriously. Everybody's taking things way too serious. All right, gentlemen, like the video, comment what you think, subscribe to the channel. Have a good one.